Hey everyone, welcome back to Rogue Trader. If you've been keeping up with the Let's Play, you might be a little confused as to why Tess is here and not in a forest, but that is because the new DLC is here, the Infinite Museion, and I have access to it a little early, and so we're gonna play it because I can't not play it, and I have a need for the new companion and to meet all of it and stuff like that. So we're just gonna do it. Let's dive in. Now, if you are new to Owlcat DLCs for Rogue Trader and you bought this DLC or another one and you can't get it to work, make sure that you go to your settings like I did, or like to the main menu here, and then you go DLCs and mods, and then make sure it is enabled in here. So when I first loaded in, this was in fact not enabled. I enabled it, and then it will put a lock on it. So once you save your game and then you kind of load into this, then it is locked on that save file forevermore. So as a heads up, I do have a save file usually for a lot of DLCs with pre-DLC and then post-DLC. So just so then that way I can come back without the DLC if I need to. But as with all things Rogue Trader related, you must move around on your map to get it to start. Your ladyship, I beg your pardon, but this cannot wait. Drives Master Zira Taller entreats you to visit the sector Bionica at your earliest convenience. The ancient archaeotech, the sacred implantation throne, is at risk of being lost forever. Did you know we had another sector on the ship? Tess didn't. The relic is unique and as old as the ship itself. It was damaged during the traitor Voigtvir's mutiny. Despite the tech priest's ceaseless prayers, its machine spirit continues to fade. It may soon be irretrievably lost. I shall descend into the bowels of my ship immediately. That wasn't the line, but I feel like it fit. The high factotum sighs in relief. I humbly await your arrival. I'm so happy. He's once again part of a deal. He was in the, he had a little bit to do in the Cabela DLC, 10 out of 10. I didn't like him when I first started playing the game quite as much, but as a veteran of the game now, he's like one of my faves. I'm not gonna lie. Yes. Thank you. Hello. The implantation throne is majestic in its antiquity. The metal bench surrounded by countless injectors, manipulators, and vid screens leaves no doubt as to its purpose. The very nature of this machine is designed to transform living bodies by fusing them with blessed iron. Even to the naked eye, it is clear that the machine is ailing grievously so. The manipulators' segmented tubes hanging limply, bleeding, ungent, while the dusty lumens are only dimly illuminated. As the tech priests try to revive the relic, each swing of their sensor is like a pendulum ticking down the moments until the throne's untimely demise. Your ladyship, thank you for gracing the sector Bionica with your presence. You are already acquainted with Drives Master Zira Taller. We are? We are? We are. Yes, very well acquainted. It is she who has been tending to the ancient relic. She is here to convey the wretchedness of our present position. I love the use of the word wretchedness there, I'm not gonna lie. The tech priest slowly extends her mechadendrites, twisting them in an intricate gesture of greeting. Lord Captain, the blessed machine spirit that dwells within the throne is fading. I, and many grieving tech priests, have been performing unending sacraments of tech healing and prayers of operational benediction on it, the shrine, but even our devotions are merely staving off the inevitable. This throne is a creation of the Omnissiah made centuries ago. Even before the unholy desecration of the relic, we were barely able to propitiate its ancient machine spirit to perform sacred augmentation procedures. Many litanies and operating protocols did not survive through the ages. Now, with the demise of the keepers of the implantation throne during the mutiny, they have been lost forever. This sacred machine must be saved at all costs. So what makes this machine so important? It is unique, one of a kind. The tech priest's optical augments flash and surprising fervor creeps into her voice. In the Logis Annals of the Adeptus Mechanicus, this throne is identified as a shrine capable of autonomous augmentation rituals. Its loss is unacceptable, and any condoning of it is sacrilege. In addition, only the Rogue Trader or persons authorized by the Rogue Trader may use it. It is an invaluable investment in your longevity and bodily integrity. How were the relics damaged? The high factotum clears his throat and grimaces. During the uprising instigated by the rebellious Master of Whispers, the sector Bionica was besieged. The janitors and Medicaid officers heroically defended the throne, but eventually the rebels broke through. Most of the defenders fell in battle, and many machines were lost or damaged. Many were able to be restored, but the throne was particularly badly damaged. What sacraments can the throne perform? And the shrine is capable of autonomously healing flesh and blessing it with augmentations under the supervision of a knowledgeable janitor. Complex procedures can be performed with unimaginable speed and precision, and stimulants administered in the required proportions and combinations. It is a true miracle of the Omnissiah. So how do I save it? Only a servant of the machine god endowed with the high rank of janitor extremis, versed in all the necessary rituals and learned in the mystical currents of the motive force, can perform the reparative sacraments and reanimate this mechanism. The only place where one might find such a servant is on the cloistered station of Altar Templum Calixus EXT-17. To the best of my knowledge, the cloister Mistress Talar is referring to is located in the Furibundus system. Its denizens are not well disposed to communicating with the lady, but I am willing to leverage every diplomatic connection I possess to gain an audience with the station's clergy. Well, Danrock, I rely on your connections. The Drive Master's Vox Grill emits a Binaharic aria of thanks. The High Factotum adjusts his monocle with a satisfied look. I thank you for your favor, your ladyship. Before you depart, the Sector Bionica would also like to present you to you Genitor Majoris Ferenz and Vivisector Jays Martinax. They are currently performing an urgent procedure and therefore unable to attend the inspection in person, but I am certain they will receive the Rogue Trader's visit as a great honor if you will follow me. Yes, let's go meet our two new friends. The smell of medical supplies and weak cries of pain fill the cold air. Two figures stand over an operating table. The patient lying upon it is bound in place and his head is soaked in blood. A woman in uniform is desperately trying to force her way to the table. Please help my son in the name of the Golden Throne. I know you can. Notek has endured so much. The lined face of the middle deck veteran is contorted with grief. Every word she speaks comes out in a long moan. Your ladyship, the Medicaid officer dressed in protective attire briefly looks away from the table to welcome you with a solemn address. Vivisector Jays Martinax at your service. The Rogue Trader's visit is a momentous event for the Sector Bionica. Will you grant us the honor of observing the operation? The hunched tech priest on the opposite side of the table erupts in a furious Binaharic trill as he struggles to immobilize the thrashing and moaning patient. After a time, he likewise turns his metal-plated face to you. The life form Genitor Majoris Ferenz welcomes Lord Captain Tessera von Valencius. I second my colleague's statement. Tell me about the operation. Lord Captain, our guiding light. My son, Notek, he's injured, dying. I carried him here in my arms on my own so the Churgeons could pull him back from the brink. Please don't leave us. The woman's gaze swings from you to the Churgeons and back again. Her mental state is obviously unstable. Still working the injector, Martinax turns his head to you. This young man has suffered a serious head injury that requires immediate intervention. The Genitor Majoris and I are attempting to stop the flesh from dying off while simultaneously deciding on a strategy for further treatment. With each of his many ocular implants focused closely on the patient, Genitor Ferenz is rooting around inside the man's open skull with a thin, sharp, probe-like instrument. Meanwhile, the Churgeon Martinax's hands, clad in blood-stained gloves, are holding an injector of yellowish solution, which he administers into the patient's brain matter at regular intervals. Is there anything I can do? With a whirring sound, Ferenz's optical augment focuses on you, scanning for the potential utility of a life form. Encephalac healing skills is lacking. At present, nothing can be done. I'm sorry. Why would I consider? I'm so sorry, but I would definitely consider. Can we get a you-know-whatsies kind of moment with these? I doubt it, but maybe. Like, I don't know. I doubt they're going to let us flirt with either of them. But, like, if we get a Cabela situation where the two extra people, like, there was some, like, mild flirting / could boink one of them kind of thing, I would be fine with that. I'm ready to get my heart broken again, okay? Don't be so hasty, colleague. Heal with the mind, not the medicaments. That's one of the key wisdoms of the Officio Medicae. The vivisector stares at the wounded man's face for a few seconds. Perhaps your ladyship's presence will lend strength to the patient. Try to support the patient while we attempt to stabilize his condition. The man chained to the bed is missing the top part of his skull. The moist pink contents glisten in the lumen light. Moist pink contents! His brain? Is that what we're talking about? The patient is conscious. His eyes are open, and his parched lips are constantly moving as he mumbles. The man's terrified gaze meets yours, and he falls silent. How curious. It seems the rogue trader's presence is indeed influencing the patient's state of mind. He looks back at you with interest. Whether it's a manifestation of devout faith in his anointed, or a bizarre form of delusion, it can only be to our benefit. Whatever you're doing, your ladyship, please continue. Smile? Smile, Tess? Are you good at smile? You're a noble. You're great at it. For a moment, you think there's a flicker of vivid emotion in the person's pain-ravaged eyes, something akin to extreme surprise. I believe I am the rogue trader, not a soul healer. How much longer do you... seeing Denise is tedious work undeserved. No. I have heard that a good story can dull the pain. Would you like me to tell you about my adventures? On one occasion... You do not need to finish the tale. What? I was about to regale them with something fantastic. A moment later... The two people leaning over the patient simultaneously raise their instruments, and in a colorless voice, the tech priest proclaims, registering the complete stabilization of the life form's conditions. Internal cortical damage has been treated, requesting closure of the clot and transfer of the victim to B-class stimulants. He will live, but the stimulants won't replace that part of his brain. If we implant the sacred cortical augment in his skull, it will restore his lost ability to think and act. Lord Captain, please, your subject has a genuine need for this augmentation. This constitutes a violation of sacred directives. The value of an individual life form is incomparably less than the value of the sacred technology required. Augmetics of the specified class are rare and are restricted to senior officers. Thus, dictate the regulations of the sector Bionica. Who is this man? An expendable life form to be utilized in void battles. One of thousands. A soldier from a Voidsman combat unit and a devoted servant of the Emperor. Lord Captain, this young man has been fighting for his life, even through horrendous pain. If you allow the augmentation to be installed, his perseverance will become an example for others to emulate. My only son, he's serving in a void unit. I was the one who told him to go there. Poor Nodek. Asked the woman from behind the Medicae officer. How was he injured? In the last void battle, where he barely survived his injuries, he has suffered a few healing attempts from charlatans on the lower deck and endured a long road to come here. However, no weapon can destroy the devotion and fortitude of a true servant of the God Emperor. True devotion is revealed not in a servant's life, but in their death. So teaches the tenets of the web. With a discreet motion, Cabela touches the bloodstain on the wounded man's head and draws a crimson sign upon the metal of the cot. What are your respective proposals? I understand that my opinion may strike you as strange, for the mere fact that this poor soul has found his way to the sector Bionica might itself be regarded as a blessing. Hear me out. The installation of a cortical augmentation will restore the patient to health, serving as an example for the rest of us through his heroism. This will inspire the people and strengthen their faith in the Lord Captain, and let them know that the rogue trader's mercy will not abandon them in their hour of need. The life form on the operating table is easily replaceable and does not possess any substantial functional value. Therefore, installation of the implant would be devoid of senses, proposing replacement of lost function by means of Class B powder stimulants. The life form will have limited viability and will be gifted an optimal termination period with partial functionality. Remember, she is a woman of the people. If you've never met this Tess, she is a haughty noble who is also a woman of the people because she likes being liked, okay? And she also likes murder. But at this point, we're going to fit the augment. We hear and we obey, Lord Captain. He offers you a graceful bow. I will see to the implantation at once, and the esteemed servant of the Omnissiah will assist me in this procedure. The gender majoris' response in Binhart carries a distinct tone of displeasure. Ignoring his colleague's reaction, the vivisector begins inserting thin augmentation spikes into the patient's brain with uncanny precision. Before long, the iron plate of the cortical implant replaces the damaged bone with a resounding crunch. In silence, you hear the soft sobs of a woman. The mother is weeping helplessly, furiously wiping her eyes with her hand, but now a smile of relief lights up her face. Thank you, your ladyship. I will remember your intercession for the rest of my life and pray for your good fortune. Oh! Oh? Oh, how cool is this? What? I actually think that that's kind of the coolest thing ever. Look how much detail they put in all of this. Dear Lord. Okay. Your ladyship, yes. May I talk to any of you? That's me. Echo and Heinrich are melding. That's fine. Ooh. Don't mind me. Rogue trader coming through.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Stealing all your stuff. Technically it's all hers, I think. So is it really? There's somebody down there? Really? It's designed to transport dead bodies to the disposal unit. Oh, we have a disposal unit, Tess. Hi. Okay, you're here. A tech priest stares at you with a single visor. Amidst tangle of metal and wires, the Voxcaster replacing his mouth hisses, scanning life form. Visit registered. Welcome to Sector Bionica, Lord Captain. You will be received by Janitor Majoris Ferenz. The tech priest turns to you and suddenly realizes that he was standing with his back to you. The front of his head is covered with blinking visors. Visors. With the highest priority, I notify the Lord Captain that the sacred Archaeotech is still in an agnal state caused by the malicious actions of the rebels. The functionality of the Sector Bionica is limited. The life form Janitor Majoris Ferenz humbly awaits your assistance in purifying the reliquary mechanism. You work in tandem with the Vivisector? I deem the results of your scan to be accurate. The Vivisector performs functions of preparing the carrier for installation of the maximum efficiency configuration. I wish to know more about you. Given your inability to conduct a scan, I will respond to a limited set of inquiries. The two of you don't get along, do you? Awareness. Successful. Scanning. Responds affirmative. The Vivisector's life form regrettably ignores the sacred requirements of efficiency and in the service of the Omnissiah, attributing its rudimentary experiences. How'd you come to be here? I maximize the efficiency of the life form serving within the sacred manufactorum on Chiave Gamma. By the blessing of the Omnissiah, I ascended to janitor rank and was deployed to this flagship. My proficiency in installing augmetics was appraised as exceptional by the previous rogue trader. Are the tech priests and the Omnissiah allowed to work with living flesh? I thought you hold it in contempt. Flesh is weak, but its efficiency can be improved with blessed metal, according to the directives of the Omnissiah. Pivotal life forms, like pivotal mechanisms, must withstand maximum stress and procedure. The best results. My duty lies in improving them. I think we'll leave it there. Okay, so he says bye-bye. So where's my new friend?
It's about time.
Like, where is he? Hello? We'll go find him. You bet your butt. Somebody, Pascal, hack this.
The machine god grants the insight.
Oh, this is for the implantation throne. So it's a positive, negative. Okay, cool. So let us read the information. Must not have these features. Done. So it looks like Drakari, Astartes, Eldari, Navigator. Okay. But so this will, the range at which medikits and stimulants can be used increased by +4, and user weapon skill and ballistic skill are reduced by 5%. So there is negative positive, which I don't mind. I usually don't indulge in negative positive things like that. Like usually I don't think it's worth it. But
challenge for me.
New day, new Plex. Who knows what we're gonna do? There you are. Hello. A tall wisp of a man hurriedly turns to you. He's wearing an apron covered in dark splotches, and his thin arms are sheathed up to the elbow in medical gloves. Your ladyship, I apologize for my appearance. The officer bows low. My name is Jays Martinax, and I serve as Vivisector in the Sector Bionica. It's an untold honor to welcome you to our deck. First of all, allow me to express my gratitude for permitting me to place the cortical implant in the injured man. Thanks to your mercy, one more person has been able to continue his service to the God Emperor. He makes a sign of the Aquila with his hands and bows to you again, even more deeply than before. Firstly, I must boldly warn you that until the relic that powers the Sector Bionica with the miraculous knowledge of the Omnissiah is healed, to my deepest sorrow, the installation of sacred implants cannot be performed. For all his florid speech, more typical of a noble than a churgeon, Martinax speaks with genuine sadness. You work in tandem with the janitor? That's right. Ferenz is in the business of coaxing machine spirits with the most sophisticated medics. His face twists into a strange expression. Who makes the final decision during procedures? I'm in charge of the sector Bionica. I do not mean to belittle the servant of the Adeptus Mechanicus in general, and certainly not Ferenz in particular, but they have much to learn from the Officio Medicae when it comes to healing. Tell me more about you. I am delighted to have earned your attention, gracious Lord Captain. What exactly do you wish to know? Oh no! Oh no! He got some nice flowery speed. Definitely was a noble. You two don't get along? For a second, Martinax's impenetrably friendly tone cracks, and he sighs waspishly. Yes, Lord Captain, sometimes we seriously disagree. Ferenz believes that replacing flesh with iron and receiving the blessing of the Omnissiah is the privilege of the few. I, on the other hand, make no distinction between servants of the God Emperor. Every faithful soul deserves a chance to continue working for the glory of humanity. I'm afraid it's not always easy for friends and I to find a compromise. How'd you come to serve on my flagship? I come from a noble line on Yanis. Family legend has it that my ancestors knew the secrets of the planet's terraforming technology. I, on the other hand, have chosen a path that allows me to transform the person rather than the planet. Advanced terraforming, in a way. Augmentation makes humanity stronger than any phenomenon in nature. Isn't that what the God Emperor wants us to be? Why did the tech priest permit you to work with augmetics? To my knowledge, one must be initiated into the mysteries of the Adeptus Mechanicus. An astute observation, Lord Captain. I'm proud to tell you that I had the honor of serving alongside members of the Adeptus Mechanicus back on my home planet. Among the tech priests of Yanis, there are entire divisions headed by janitors. The knowledge of the Officio Medicae was essential during more complicated procedures. From the sacred remit of janitors does not include tending to patients' mortal bodies. That is when an experienced Medicae must be brought into the ritual. Thus, we found some common ground. Tell me about the sector. Sector Bionica is a special part of the Medicae facility where we employ augmetics and implants to give life back to those who have been irreparably injured. We replace lost organs with consecrated technologies and offer maimed the chance to serve the God Emperor once more. The sector's assistant and Medicae officers report to me, while its tech priests report to Janitor Friends. Few vessels can boast a Medicae concilium of such quality. We will leave it there. Okay, so we have talked to both of them. I have a feeling they got portraits, so they're not, you know what I mean? Like,
Follow my lead.
What Tess said, they're definitely some baddies, if you know what I mean. Back to the bridge. Okay, I do think that when I go to jump now, we're gonna find ourselves in a cutscene. If not right here. Not cutscene, but like thing. We'll go with thing. No, we're not in a thing now. I'm gonna save here. And we'll see. Now I'm kind of confused as to why I got 2 before. Okay, we're gonna go here. Oh, because it's technically like 2 jumps, I think. Maybe. No, it should only be 1 jump. We'll find out together. Hold, there we go. This is it. Okay. So I will meet you. We've done this scene like twice already. Once. And I will meet you back here in a minute, so that way we can get to the new companion as quickly as possible. Okay, I am back. Welcome back to you. Welcome back to me. Your ladyship, we had contacted Altar Templum Calixus EXT-17 in accordance with your orders. The Astropathic Choir sent a message to the station about the plight of the implantation throne. Altar Templum responded to our overture very promptly, which in and itself is extremely remarkable for cloistered servants of the Omnissiah. The Adeptus Mechanicus report that they are most aggrieved by the misfortune that has befallen the ancient relic, and they are prepared to dispatch to the flagship a learned man versed in the restoration of the archaeotech machines. His name is Aegon Febris, and he is ready not only to personally assist the dynasty, but also teach the ship's engine seers all the necessary rituals. In return, the Crimson Priests ask only that you visit the station and inform them of the fate of the miraculous fusion reactor from Ricad Minoris. All right, let us go. I will relay that you have agreed to visit the station. Off we go. The Omnissiah demands it. We shall comply. I don't want to make anybody angry. We have entered the station's orbit, Lord Captain, awaiting a signal from Altar Templum Calixus EXT-17. For a few seconds, the Vox frequency carries only trepidatious Silence, which is soon broken by a rattling voice. We offer up our thanks to the Omnissiah for the intersection of events with a margin of error within the confidence interval. In the infinite branches of the future, this outcome will be marked as favorable. I am Teria Lemma, Logis of the Altar Templum Calixtus EXT-17, and I appeal to the Rogue Trader for the sacred knowledge. What is the fate of the miraculous fusion reactor from Mercad Minoris? Why the interest? The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Acquisition of the knowledge of the blessed Archaeotech corrects a priori probability and increases the accuracy of predicting gracious events. The tech pre-submits a long vibrating Binhark tech litany, causing the Vox transmitter to rattle. The reactor remained on Mercad Minoris. Negative deviation from the optimal outcome has been registered. The cumulative completeness of knowledge has been reduced. The Omnissiah mourns this loss. It is difficult to catch any intonation in Tetria Lemma's solemn voice, but the Binhark exclamation that follows seems genuinely sorrowful. In gratitude for the expansion of our knowledge of Archaeotech, the tech clergy of Altar Templum Calixtus EXT-17 is prepared to perform a Grade 3 Binhark rite over the machine spirits of your vessel. Genitor Extremis Eogin Febris, a manipulus who has received the benediction of the motive force, will be sent to embark upon your ship immediately. Omnissiah's blessings. Your ladyship, if I may be so bold as to point out that this learned man possesses a rare combination of skill and is almost certainly proficient in the creation of the blessed augments. Truly, it is a boon for the flagship and you personally. Abelard lets out a discontented grumble. All the more peculiar, then, that the Adeptus Mechanicus would so readily hand over one of their invaluable brethren to us. It is unlikely that such generosity is motivated solely by magnanimity. And that's... You know what I mean? Like, he got a good point. Why? Why are you bringing this bro to me if he's so important? Registering the launch of cargo shuttle on course for our ship. Cutscene! I think that this is the intro cutscene. I'm so excited. Like, I love new companions.